The first DVDs that I'm going to showcase in this video is the Tiny Toon Adventures collection. I have volumes 1, 2, and 4. Now, the reason as to why I don't have volume 3 is because I don't know if this is still going on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and check and see if I'm right on this, but it seems to be out of stock, and it's been out of stock for a while, so I was only able to get my hands on volumes 1, 2, and 4, which is why you don't see volume 3 in this collection, which is kind of annoying because of the fact that technically the entire series is released on DVD without anything missing, whereas the other DVDs that I have in my collection were basically incomplete for years until they got complete series DVD releases recently. Here's volume 1. Volume 2. It's pretty difficult to open this with only one hand, since I'm holding the camera to do this. And volume 4. I'll have to update you guys when Volume 3 gets back in stock and I finally have that in my collection. Next one that I'm going to showcase today is the Animaniacs Complete Series. Now, this set actually does have something that I wish Warner did more often, but apparently they decided to follow this trend that many companies do with their DVDs by trying to have it be all in one box, so the packaging ends up being messy, and that they basically have one slip cover and basically have two separate cases. And I think that this is the ideal way to do a complete series set. I really do like how this looks. All the discs are separated, so that way there won't be any trouble trying to get the discs out of there to if you want to watch the DVD. And it's also kind of fitting that Animaniacs was the one that got the best treatment by Warner Brothers in regards to the complete series DVD releases, considering the fact that this show was great. Animaniacs in general was always kind of hit or miss with its segments. I mean, with every Warner Brothers or Slappy Squirrel segments, you also got a Katie Kaboom or Buttons and Mindy segment. But this isn't a review on the show in specific. This is a DVD collection video. The next one is the Pinky and the Brain Complete Series set. And this is the first one where I do actually have problems with the packaging. And for the reason as to why what I brought up during the Animaniacs segment of the video. And why is that? Well, I was never a fan of this kind of packaging. I mean, it's almost impossible to get the discs out of there without either breaking it or having to take out another disc in order to get the other one. That always made it kind of a pain. And on top of that, it doesn't even look like the discs are really sticking very well to the disc trays. I mean, it is nice that they did decide to take the approach of having all of this be in one huge case. Although this was not the right approach, in my opinion. It makes the discs at risk of getting scratched up or broken because of the fact that the discs feel stuck or something. And this is unfortunately not the last time that we'll be seeing a case that has this problem. The next one is the Dexter's Laboratory Complete Series set. And unfortunately speaking, this has the exact same problem as the Pinky and the Brain one for literally the exact same reason. I basically tested out one of the discs back in the summer of last year, and yeah, it was extremely painful to get one of the discs out of the tray without breaking one of them. While it is nice that this show did finally get a complete series release, considering the fact that back during my other DVD collection video, I basically showed that the series only had one season release at the time, and so for the series to finally get a complete series release, and they basically have packaging like this, while yes, it is nice to have the episodes, I am not a fan of this packaging. And last but not least, the same thing also applies to the Powerpuff Girls Complete Series DVD release. And these 4 DVDs that I showed in this video are not the only Cartoon Network series that has this problem. I know that the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends DVD set has this exact same problem with it. However, I haven't watched enough of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or rewatched it enough to really get a full grasp of my opinion on it. And I may end up doing a Sean's Network Reviews video on that show someday, but that would be going off topic with my binge list that I made for every single series that I'm going to review in that show. And here's one that doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, not much has changed. These are the exact same DVDs that I showed in my previous DVDs video. But I decided to basically update the first 8 seasons of my Spongebob collection to where I basically got 10 disc cases and basically put all the DVDs that I had in those things that I showed in my previous video and basically put them in these particular cases to make it look like they're basically together in 3 separate cases. Kind of like what I showed with the Animaniacs Complete Series DVD. But anyways, getting back on topic with what I gotten since the last particular DVD collection video is seasons 13 and 14. Now, I've been hearing from a lot of people that SpongeBob SquarePants has gotten bad again, and well, watching a good number of episodes from both seasons for myself, I will say that I wouldn't necessarily say that SpongeBob SquarePants has gotten bad again necessarily. I don't think that any season can come close to how bad that season 6, 7, and 8 were. The recent seasons, from what I've watched, have been more hit or miss than anything. I mean, sure. In regards to season 13, there were definitely bad episodes, such as Lockdown for Love or Plain to See, but there were a lot of gems in that season as well, just like any season of the show. And when it comes to season 14, in my opinion, I think that it's definitely the weakest of the post-sequel era, because the first half of that season definitely had some of the worst that season had to offer, while the second half was when the season got back on track majorly. I do have an upcoming review, both on the Patrick Star Show and Kamp Koral, where I will be discussing some episodes of the main show, because while there are some episodes in both of these seasons that are very good, one of them I mentioned is Ain't That the Tooth, because it's definitely the funniest episode of season 13, but there are others that do have so many problems to the point where I do bring them up as examples in these particular videos, such as with Upturned Girls, which basically has Narlene doing a ton of bad things in the episode, and she gets no consequences for it. In fact, Pearl enables her behavior at the end of the episode, as well as Mamageddon, which is definitely embarrassing. Like, if a lot of what happened in that episode happened in a season 2 episode like Grandma's Kisses, then a lot of the characters in the restaurant would basically make fun of SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs, and Squidward for what they did in the episode. And the final one that I'm going to show today is the Patrick Star Show. Well, Season 1, Volume 2, because in the other video that I did, showcasing my DVD collection, I did show Volume 1. Today, I'm going to be showing Volume 2, because since then, I did get this. Like I said previously, there is an upcoming Sean's Thoughts video about this show that I am going to be making, although it won't be available until May 12th. I basically have it done and scheduled for that particular date, but I will say for now that I do think that this show is pretty good. Like, it's definitely nowhere near as good as some of the other shows I reviewed, like Puka or OKKO Let's Be Heroes, because this show does have similar problems that I pointed out with Kamp Koral, and the fact that a lot of the elements of this show feel like they go into way too familiar territories, which is something that I'm definitely going to be pointing out with Kamp Koral, such as how they basically use grainy tentacles as the show's stand-in for Squidward. And there are definitely some bad episodes in this show, like Get Off My Lonnie or Big Baby Patrick, but I definitely will say that I was pleasantly surprised by this show.
Everything